Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, welcome back to the Just Langa show. Today we are talking about branding from the heart. It is our 72nd episode of Just Langa, where we interview the movers and shakers in the world to help you guys grow your authority, impact, and income as a thought leader and business influencer in your respective industry. So welcome on and welcome all. Let us know who's in the house. If you are a regular popcooner, type in popcoon. Or if you're a newbie, type in noob. Okay, today's episode is going to be so exciting. We already had a little chat with our guest, and he is so cute. Okay, so today we are talking branding from the heart, happening right here on the Just Langa show with me, Nina, and
Sorry, I'm in here. Okay. I was handling some technical stuff. I just want to make sure that LinkedIn is still live because last week we had some issue with LinkedIn. We are live on LinkedIn. Good to be here. All right.
I mean, just to let you know, if you feel bad, it's not your fault. It is actually StreamYard's fault because I got the memo. So just to let you know.
I just want to check. I just want to make sure that everything is okay. That's it.
Yeah, you are good enough, okay? Just so you know. Okay. Anyway. You are good. You're awesome. Thank you for holding my bag. I'll talk about what's happening next week, which is what I'm nervous about. Now, if you are new to the show, we are Popcorn, and we will Southeast Asia's business influencers, sometimes Asian business influencers and thought leaders. So if this is something that excites you, do follow us on all our social media. We've got trainings, events, everything, as well as today's Just Langa show. Now, coming up next week, it's going to be our last episode. And what is that episode about? 73rd, guys, 73rd. We are going towards 100. And instead of a Thursday night, it's going to happen on a Friday morning because this is the only time we can get her. She is none other than Greta Rose, founder of Greta Rose Agency, a creative and digital marketing agency. And I am so bummed up that Amin is not going to be able to be around to handle the tech because Greta, why am I echoing? Okay, because Greta is the one responsible for producing, the Secret movie with Katie Holmes acting in it. That's her. And if you know the story, it actually comes from a book. Okay, so from a book to a brand, to a movie, a film on TV. So that's amazing. I can't wait to meet
I'm jealous. I'm like really jealous right now because
this is the closest I can get to be featured in Oprah, because you want to know why she was featured in Oprah. Okay, so I'm like kind of thing, and she actually said yes, so I'm so excited. Okay, so again, if this is something that excites you, you want to follow us on all our social media so you will be notified. All right, but tonight it's all about branding from the heart. When we talk about branding, creating a brand identity is more than just marketing. It's more than just selling products and services. In fact, for a brand that inspires and moves and empowers your target audience, it has to have a heart and soul. Okay, so think about it. Your brand needs to have a heart and a soul in order to move hearts and souls, because we are in the business of humans. Okay, and humans are human beings and not human robots. Okay, so what is it that you guys want to get from today's episode, branding from the heart? Let us know in the chat. Give us a comment. Let us know. And it's not often that we have a man whose social media blew up because of his heart and soul. So this is the best time to ask. I mean, what would you like to know from today's episode? What do you want to learn? What about you guys? Let us know in the comment section.
Yeah. I think what I really like about today's session is that I'm going to be learning branding from a practitioner, not a concept. Okay, someone who's actually doing it. And someone who is not teaching it, but he's an actual influencer. So that's something that I really want to be
breathing and living. I think one of the things that we need to remember is he took part in one of the biggest competition that we see on media, which is Masterchef. Yep. And the thing that you guys want to remember is that he didn't win. And yet he is today, he's even more famous than the one who won. So yeah, if this works, I would definitely say branding from the heart works, and we need to learn as much as we can. And you know what? There is life after losing, okay? Kind of thing. So that's what I would love to know, because I'm always not winning. I'm always the second. So that's why I want to know.
Hey, but you know what? I just want to add to that, right? If you take a look at most of this competition, right? What I noticed is that the one who won the competition, most of the time they are not as famous as the one who actually got number 2, number 3, and so on. It's the finalists always got the limelight, right? I can name a new, like Dorothy is one of them.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know Dorothy from Oz. Which Dorothy are you talking about?
I'm talking about American Idol. Dorothy.
Oh, there's a Dorothy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's one of them. Right.
Well, Jennifer
So
Hudson
that's a
didn't
few.
win, right? Look
Even
at
Jennifer
her.
Hudson didn't win. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if you
Right.
think you want second or third, you're not important, forget it. You are. You can make it big, kind of thing. You can actually work it. You even
Yep.
have an advantage if you think about it. Okay, so for anyone who believes in this, and before we compare, because I actually believe in branding from the heart. Even I actually think it beats even algorithm, social media algorithm, and even content marketing. Okay, so I think this is what actually makes you kind of like a rocket that launches you into social media space. But that's just my theory. So I would like
Mm-hmm.
to see if this is accurate. Okay, so we're talking about branding from the heart. You are about to get the inside scoop on how to unleash your brand heart into the world. So if you guys are ready, let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got Angela. We've got Facebook user. Where's this Facebook user? I
Senlai.
don't know.
Hi,
Who's
Senlai.
Senlai? Oh, hi, Senlai. Okay, so when being a brand from the heart, what's the line that separates the public brand and the private life? Good question. What would be
Good
your
question.
answer?
We're gonna ask the expert afterwards, right?
Yes.
That's what
Okay,
we're
got
gonna
it. All right. So if you guys are ready, you think it's going to be useful, it's going to make a difference to somebody out there, then share this post out on social media, tag your friends who can benefit from this, and give us loads of love and like, and let's get this out so that everyone can benefit from it. And once you are done with that, get your pen, get your paper, because we are meeting a practitioner. So if you guys are ready, I certainly am. Get your questions all ready. All right, let's introduce our guest. Who is our guest for tonight? He is none other than Malaysia's favorite Masterchef, who didn't win. Okay, let me remind you. He rose to fame from an auditor to a man in apron. Okay, today he continues to share his passion for all things food, family, fitness as a celebrity chef, serial entrepreneur, and investor with close to a decade of experience in food and media under his belt. And he's won multiple award winning cookbooks. Now, he also has a profound passion in early child development, and he co owns Young Chefs Academy in Malaysia, which is an international franchise that not only conducts cooking classes for kids, but it is regularly looked to by many Montessori outfits, international and local schools, in providing creative learning opportunities through food and understanding nutrition. As such, he is synonymous with cooking and child development through the medium of food and cooking, and that's why he works with the biggest brands like Kraft, Nestle, GSK, and and so on. He's also the host of multiple TV and radio shows, and he is a best-selling host for local QVC equivalent home shopping network Wow Shop. Now, seeing the emerging opportunity of live commerce in Asia, he also founded Easy Mall TV, which today has become the trusted platform for top brands, soon reaching 1 million consumers with only 6 months after inception. He's currently an adjunct instructor at Le Cordon Bleu Malaysia. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready to start branding from your heart, just like our speakers already doing, please give it up for celebrity chef, entrepreneur, and educator, Abang Brian. Welcome, Abang Brian.
I love that you have audiences, right? Like amazing audiences, like massive. They're in black and white though.
The black and white, though. Yes, yes, yes. I love it because, from that time, people are so passionate. They're like, oh, they go like that, kind of thing. Okay, love my earrings. Thank you. Hey, Nina, Abang Brian from Dr. Nurul saying hi. Dr. Nurul already messaged me. She's a huge fan of yours. She was like, oh my God, I'm coming. And I also send messages out to people, and they're like, cute. We always get very good looking guys. So Amin is upset because the girls are not that good looking. But I will try better next year, okay? How's that?
Saya
Abang
nak
Brian.
complain.
Abang
We need
Brian.
more babes in the show.
Abang Brian, maybe you know more babes that we can get on the show. So you help me, get more gorgeous speakers. We're trying to rebrand lah next year. Gorgeous babes. Okay. Because we only have gorgeous guys because I get all the speakers. Bias. All right, Abang Brian, in your own words, can you share a little bit about yourself and what you do in your journey? Because you weren't always a chef, right? You were counting numbers.
Yeah, so I just realized that I'm wearing the exact same T-shirt that I had on in the picture.
Really? Oh yes. Okay.
That's like
Oh, hindi ko alam ba
consistency
to?
in branding, okay? It's
Oh yeah,
100%
yeah.
consistency.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, so for those who don't know me, my name is Abang Brian. I was
Mhm.
born with the name Brian. And yeah, so I grew up in a very Asian family where everyone is a doctor, engineer, and accountant, something that is professional. In my family, I think growing up, if any of my cousins became pharmacists, people would ask them if the reason why they became pharmacists was because they didn't get enough marks, right?
To be a
So
doctor.
yeah, to be a doctor,
Oh my
right? So
goodness.
that was the expectation of me and my sister, just me and my sister and the family. So I think being the good Asian boy that I think I am, I mean, me and my sister, we work very hard. I'm not a very intelligent person, but I am a very persistent person, a very hardworking person. If people were to read something once, I would read it 10 times, but I'll get the job done, right? So ever since I was
Mhm.
15, I never paid for my education. I just got scholarships after scholarship because I mean,
Wow.
I just like
Pandai
studying,
too.
right?
Ah.
So and when it came time to choose the field of study that I wanted to do, um, I knew that I didn't want to be a doctor because at that time I said that I was afraid of blood, which is very weird that now I'm a chef, right? But
Ah, okay.
so I didn't want to be a doctor, and I knew that I've always wanted to do like marketing or sales or something to do with people, right? So we decided maybe I should do business, right? And my father went like, okay, you know what? The blood of every business is finance, right? So we decided as a family, fine, I'll be an accountant. So when I got a scholarship, I applied for finance and accounting. I was one of the pioneers under that program, that company, to be sponsored to go to France to do finance and accounting of all things, finance and accounting. And then I came back. I served the oil and gas industry as an internal auditor for quite some time. Basically, why I was put in internal audit was because I graduated in finance and accounting, and the person who interviewed me was the person who gave me the scholarship, and the person who was supposed to give me position us strategically in the company. I said to her, Dato, if you put me in accounting, I will die. I love numbers. I'm good with numbers, but I can't, just crunch numbers. I need to see people and I like people, right? So she
Mhm.
says, I got perfect job for you. So I landed myself in internal audit, which requires you to have very good people skills,
Yes.
to know and talk to a lot of people. And I loved my job so much because I was learning so much in such a short period of time. But then I realized after a while, people don't like me. But yeah,
Because you're
because
the
I'm an
auditor.
internal auditor, I get people fired. I send people back home to Australia for fraud, so
Okay.
like they're like and the internal audit that we do was like no, it's not like okay a miscalculation or whatever. We were looking into fraud. We were looking into like really big huge things. Of
Mm,
course, internal
okay.
audit for me is something that is very important to every single company. I really truly believe in it, and I always focus on the fact that internal audit is all about improving business processes. But along the way, to improve business processes, also we do find some not so stuff, and it results in people getting fired or like court action and things like that. So so I did that for a bit. I did my ACCA. In the finance world, I mean, if you come from the finance world, you will know that that's the path of someone who will be well off in the finance world, right? You do internal audit or any sort of audit. You do your chartered accountancy, and then later on, you just branch off into different specific areas of finance. And I was fine. I was fine. It's like a chartered course, right? So what happened in the meantime was that life just decided to serve me a big bowl of life.
Uh-huh.
My family got a big bowl of life. My father was diagnosed with cancer. And my
Mm.
sister, who was in the UK at that time, broke her arm, and my grandmother was all started falling down, and everything was just like a miss in my life. And I'm a very family person. So to me, my world is my family, and when things like that happens, it's like everything is crumbling around me. So what got me to start cooking was because my dad um, decided that instead of mainstream medicine, he would want to try out alternative medicine, which requires him to have a very strict diet. I would like to put it out there. Everyone who knows me knows very well that I am all for mainstream medicine. Whoever who wants to go against that, do it at your own risk. And yeah, I'm all for doctors. I'm all for medicine. Mainstream is the thing that I've always tried to convince my father. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was his life. He decided. We just supported as much as we could. And on my side, he had a diet which says that, which is not true, that cancer cells should be starved. You can't have sugar, you can't have salt, blah, 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 blah. No processed food, right? Of course, this is true for all cancer patients. You avoid processed food, right? So think of salt and sugar in food and processed food. If you take that away, that means no belacan, no ikan bilis, no garam, no gula. So basically, nothing. It's not as easy as possible. It's not as easy as people think. So I started cooking because we used to have a helper who cooked for him and cooked for the family, but we realized that, kenapa macam sedap sangat, like why does it still say salty? So like she didn't get it. So like I took it on myself to actually start cooking for him, right? Okay. And that's when I start to fall in love with food, because I realized that when I'm in my kitchen, that's
by
that.
this time, were you still working or you left
Yes,
your job?
I was still working.
Okay.
I was still working. David Neto, thank you for supporting modern medicine. Yes. So I was working. I was taking some unpaid leaves. I was still juggling every single thing. I was finishing up my CA, and I started cooking. And I've never cooked before in my life. I come from a family where boys do not belong in the kitchen.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And so it was in the kitchen that I found my peace. That when everything was wrong, I just found my peace in the kitchen, right? And it is the love of my father that drove me to continuously cook. And how I learned cooking from the very beginning: YouTube, Martha Stewart, Googling. That's basically how I started cooking, and I realized that I love it. And one thing led to another. Obviously, during this time that my father was battling cancer, me and my friends, we came out with this movement. I think a lot of people have done it before. Like, life is so short. Let's all group together and do crazy things together, right? So crazy sensible things like, in recognition, life is so short. Let's just do one crazy thing a week. It can be as crazy as bungee jumping or skydiving, or as mundane as, okay, let's just take a different route to work, right? Because life is short. So we would take turns proving that we are living life. And we have been doing this for quite some time, and it came to my turn, right? And by that time, we've done bungee jumping, we've done the crazy thing. And I was like, oh, Lama, what am I supposed to do now?
So once somebody agrees, everybody does it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay,
yeah.
wow.
But the person who suggests it has to do it. Like, at least one person has to do it. So like, if this week, if Nina, it's your turn, you have to suggest something, and you have to at least do it if no one else wants to do it, right?
Okay, got it. Okay.
Came to my turn, and I ran out of ideas, and this advertisement for Masterchef Malaysia came on. And mind you, I had been only cooking for 6 months. So my intention was basically to tell my friends, okay, look, I just only started cooking for 6 months. I'm going to enter this competition. I'm going to submit my application. That's my crazy thing. Submit my application. Mind you, when you join any reality competition, they invade your privacy. There's 20 pages to be filled, right? And I submitted my application, and I got a call. They said, can you please come present your dish? And I was like, for real? And I presented my dish. And then I was like, okay, this is the next crazy thing, right? And then I presented my dish. And then they said, okay, now cook in front of us, in front of the chefs. Okay. Then the next thing I know, they said Astro once, because back then it was Masterchef was brought in by Astro. Personality test. They want to meet you and make sure that you're camera friendly. And dundang, I finished in the top few. I did not win. And
so you were the top 10 lah?
I was top 8. I was top
Top
8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Top 8. Yes.
Good number lah. 8
Yeah,
kan.
yeah.
Orang
Tiba.
So anyways, yeah, so that happened. And I mean, before even leaving the doors of MasterChef, everyone was telling me, the producers, the directors, everyone in entertainment industry, you will know, you've definitely heard this before. Don't worry, even if you don't win, and I knew I was not going to win for whatever reason, shall not share. But if you have coffee with me, I'll tell you. They told me
I know. I think I know. But
okay, you
anyway,
might not win, but don't worry. You've got personality. You've got something different. Offers will come to you as soon as you leave the kitchen.
Wow.
When I did, nothing happened. Nothing happened. I was knocking on doors, asking people to publish.
Okay, wait, hang on. At this time, how long were you? Did you still have a job, or you had to leave your job to take part?
At top 10, it was a crucial period for me because it was the same time that my father was rushed to the hospital because his nose cancer had actually progressed to a stage where he started to bleed profusely.
Wow. Okay.
So at top 10, I left. There was a special agreement that because we're not supposed to leave the camp, right? But because my father was in a dire condition, he was in a hospital. They allowed me to go and see him, and I told him like, I said that Masterchef aprons, dalam bahasa Melayu lah. Masterchef apron ada banyak. Ayah hanya ada satu saja. So if you want me to stop, I will stop and I will come back home. And he said, no, there's something that we see in you that we've never seen before. So just go for it. And at the same time, also my unpaid leave had finished in that company.
Wow. Okay.
I had to make that decision to leave my job with nothing in front of me, just for the dream of pursuing food, right? So, and it really bit me in the ass because I decided, I was like, okay, let's do this. That is okay, let's go for it. And then after 2 spots, I got eliminated. Right? Between my legs. But no, yeah. I think outside of my job, I'm quite a trusting person. Right? For example, I've never met Nina or Ami. So Nina contacted me and she said, let me interview you. And I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. And she's like, oh, I'm friends with your friend. I didn't even check my friend. I'm like, okay, yeah, she's friend. Let's just do this.
I'm really friends with her. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But like, you know, I'm in general, I'm quite a trusting person. So like, I trusted all these people who said that you don't have to worry, la 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 la. And so I was not that sad that I got eliminated. I was like, okay, this is the start. And I've been watching MasterChef as well before this in Australia, US and stuff like that. Usually, again, it's not the top ones who will persevere, right? I'm not saying that the top ones will never persevere. There are some, but a lot of those who remain successful or who remain determined with the journey have always been the ones who have something to prove, I guess. Losing gives you something to prove, I guess. So yeah, I started knocking on doors because back then it was Tok Wan, right? It was only Chef Wan, Chef Kamal, and all the seniors. There's a big, huge gap. If you look at the celebrity chef world in Malaysia, there's a big, huge gap. It starts from all our cikgu, okay? Chef Wan, Kamaro, Chef Lawrence, Chef Zam, who are the real seniors, right? And Chef Wan, of course, being pioneer, right? With Florence, Chef Florence. Then there's like an empty space, and then the younger ones suddenly because of MasterChef, right? And so the question is, so what does a celebrity chef do? Like,
you're right, okay.
But how do you make money, right? And I learned it.
Exactly.
We all learned it. Me and my family, we learned it the very, very hard way because I knocked on doors. People told me I didn't win. I went to do demos. I went to pitch for productions to get TV shows, and I want to put this very diplomatically.
No, can you put it as blunt as it is, please?
Yeah. This show is all about telling it as it is. That's what it was.
I was told that I did not belong in the industry because MasterChef Malaysia was on Astro Ria, which is the Malay entertainment world. And back then, there were not many besides people like Kid Fu, who is in the industry. So to put it in a gentler way, my eyes were too small, my skin was the wrong color. I was told that.
Where was Shearson
No
at that point?
way. Are you serious?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Hello. I mean, you know this too well. Even I don't fit
Yeah.
in I'm
No, but
Malay.
this was
Okay?
back then. This was back then.
Yeah.
This was
But
back then
Shearson
when
wasn't
I
allowed.
cook in the same kitchen as other people, and
Right.
people would
Uh-huh.
ask me, "Hey, dia masak halal ke?" I am in the
Wow.
same
So
kitchen.
basically because you're China lah, that's right.
I didn't say it. So anyway,
I would say it as it is, yeah. Yeah.
I have been
Okay,
brought up.
wait,
to be a
hang on.
very-
I need to
yeah.
say this. Malaysians, I hope you hear this very well because damn, you guys need to grow up. Okay, that's all I can say. Okay,
Yeah,
go
man.
on. Yeah.
I
This
must
is
say
not
that this
okay,
was
okay?
10 years ago. I have seen the difference, and I want to believe that I'm part of the difference because I was always brought up as a very proud Malaysian boy. Before, I've never said that I am Chinese, I am anything else but Malaysian.
Wait, and when you
Right.
were talking to your father, you actually spoke Malay. That there's lots of apron, but there's only one
That's
father.
mixed.
You-
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of mix, and I speak a little bit of Chinese.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna like deny that I have heritage, but I'm born in this country. I'm fourth generation Malaysian, right? And yeah, so to me, like even when people ask me, "Kenapa you bahasa Malaysia you macam fasih macam," I'm like, because that's my
Duh.
language. You know?
Because I live in Malaysia. Hello.
But it's not true. It's not true. Not many people would admit that. So, anyways,
Definitely.
I always
Yeah.
believe that food and that was something that I wanted to prove that it doesn't matter where you come from, what color is your skin, how small your eyes are. If you have the right intention, if your heart is at the right place, people will see and people will appreciate it. Right?
Oh my God! So that became your brand.
That became my
That
mantra.
was your vision, right?
Yes. So I wanted to share, right? Whatever that I had in me, whatever I have learned from food and my journey with food, caring for my father, caring for people, feeding people, making people happy. I wanted to share that joy, that happiness. Those, that's why people cook. We like to share, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I like to teach as well. And that's why I'm a teacher as well, right? Because we share, right?
Mhm.
So I basically just struggled, and I will admit, sumpah, that I succumbed to the pressures and the expectations of the entertainment industry. I was chasing the wrong thing. I was chasing glamour. I wanted the glamour. I wanted money. I was chasing all the wrong things. And yeah, I got some shows. I got one or two like gigs here, there, and everywhere. But day to day, you still have to live. So from one demo to another demo, I was just basically trying to make my ends meet with. Again, no one knew how to make money as a celebrity chef. Besides like doing these demos of like 300 ringgit one time, and then so all these kind of things happen.
Actually,
And
you know what? You are actually the original influencer, and back then, even we didn't know how to make money. We were, meraba dalam kegelapan. I don't know how to say that.
Yes,
in
it's
English,
meraba dalam kegelapan.
Meraba, yeah, kind of thing. So thank you for doing this because we all learn from you guys. Because we learned from our mentors. Hanisa is saying, "Oh yeah, man." I remember watching Masterchef Malaysia season 1 on Astro back then. Yo. And Dr. Nurul is saying, so sorry to hear that this should not happen. You are right. We are Malaysian. Yeah. Ignite that fire in all of us, kind of thing. So you said that you were chasing all the wrong thing. When did you realize you were chasing all the wrong thing? And what are the right things to chase?
So what I was saying, like I was just trying to live from demos to demos, and chasing the wrong things basically. And there was a point in time, my lowest point in time was that I went to the curve, right? And when I wanted to come out from the parking, I didn't have a single ringgit on me, including in my bank account to come. And so I was like, crap, okay, I really don't have money, like not even 1 ringgit in my bank account. What I did was, I remember I'm quite a messy person in my car. So I remember like there are coins underneath the carpet. I know sometimes I drop coins. So I started scrambling for coins on the floor, and I managed to collect 2 ringgit already that time. 1 ringgit or 2 ringgit? 2 ringgit. 2 ringgit worth of coins.
Curve is
And then I
2
went
ringgit.
to the machine, I was so happy I got 2 ringgit. I went to the machine. And
No
then I
coin.
realized the machine no more coin already. Doesn't accept
Right.
anymore.
The dollar.
So then I had to get my sister to actually come and save me, and that was my lowest point. I came home, cried like nobody's business. My family is very, very like open and very embracing in that sense. So as a family, I think at this table that I sit now, we have cried over my career a lot. Because it's something that I want to do, but we don't know how to do it. My family doesn't know better. No one knows better. But we all know that I really wanted to do it. So yeah, and my dad said something very cliche. He said, you know what is it the one thing that you would do even if no one paid you? Just go do that. Right? Don't think about money. Don't think about the attention that you're going to get, the glamour, whatever. What is it that you would do if no one paid you? And so I thought back about my days in Paris. I used to work with Disneyland, and I used to volunteer with this thing called Volunteers. And used to work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation a lot. And I love children. I worked with UNICEF as a kid as well. So it's always been in my blood to kind of, there was a calling with children as well. So then I just Googled children cooking Malaysia. And back then, my business partner had already started Young Chefs Academy in Malaysia. I went there, I submitted my CV, leaving all the TV thing out. She's not in the Malay industry, so she does not know that I was on TV, whatever. I was earning
Completely clueless lah.
Sorry?
Completely clueless lah about who you are.
So I was RM7 an hour during the weekends. So the weekdays I would try to like hustle and get like jobs as a celebrity chef. But on weekends I would like, be with the children for RM7 an hour. And then I really was enjoying myself, and I was learning so much more about myself and what I want to do with cooking and my life when I'm around the children, right? So one day my business partner finds out, and she sits me down and she goes like, "What do you want?" I said, What are you not telling me?"
Oh my God, she sounds like she's from our cult.
Yeah, no, she was like, "What do you want?"
Maybe
I don't have money. I have no money to pay you. You're some sort of celebrity, right? I said, no, it's okay. I'm fine. And then I said, I really am enjoying myself being with the children, and I love the concept, and I love teaching the children. I love being with the children. And she said, yeah, me and my husband can see it. Do you want to be business partner? And I said, wait, being a good, back then, my dad was still around, but he was like in the late stages already. I just said, wait, let me go and talk to my mother first. I'm my mommy's boy. Let me ask my mom first. Kerana syurga di telapak kaki ibumu, right? So I asked my mom. And my mom said, yeah, this sounds like kind of fishy. Why would she want to offer you suddenly, right? But So like anyways, I went to it. We just said yes, and I started doing it. And I fell in love with education and the cooking that I was doing with the children. Young Chefs Academy is not about just the recipes. It's actually a creative development center for children that is guides with food and cooking. So for example, if you were to bake a cake, right, you read the recipe, that's literacy. Half the recipe, mathematics. How much cake can you have? That's health. When the cake goes into the oven, we'll take the baking soda that we use in the cake to test different things in the kitchen. That's science. Why does my vegan friend have a replacement for eggs? That's tolerance. So where does the cake come from? Geography and culture. So that is the focus of Young Chefs Academy, and that's what I love doing with Young Chefs Academy. And yeah, I think as soon as I focus on that, and I fell in love with teaching and really being with the children, the TV shows came, the radio shows came.
Oh my God, that is so true. Well done.
So if you are a subscriber of Oprah, the whole intention thing is something that I subscribe to as well. When you correct your intention, when your intention is right, the universe will help you out, right? And I think whatever, I'm not very religious, but whatever religion that you are from, niat, intention is very important. And I realized that firsthand that when I betulkan my niat, everything turned out fine. So when I focused, that's when I started focusing on fitness, food, and family. Then I did a radio show. I ran it for about 3 years, and it was all focusing on food, family, and fitness. We used to have with doctors, and this was one of the success of my career, I would say. The whole you do not belong in the industry. I was on radio for 3 years, and whenever we go on road tours, they will go like, "Oh, you ke DJ Ibrahim? Bukan you Masterchef tu ke?" I said, "Yeah, I'm yang pukul 10 tu lah." "Oh, kita ingatkan you Ibrahim," because I used to say bersama saya Brian. So when you say Brian, it sounds like Ibrahim, right? So that is the proof You know, that I felt so happy doing that because not because I had a radio show, but because people could not see, but they could feel me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
then I did live shopping on TV for a very long time, and I'm one of the only um, non-Malay to be selling to Malays because everyone who does sales will say that you have to get a certain race to sell to a certain race. I proved that wrong.
Yes.
But of course, I was only brought in by the Koreans who are quite the rebel. So I did that.
Uh-huh.
And you know, I've done like 2-3 million ringgit sales a year, you know, and connecting
Wow.
with people. So I mean, that's proof in the pudding that it doesn't matter your skin color, your eye size, or whatever
Yes.
it is.
I think you're God sent to teach us about tolerance and to look beyond race and color. That's what I
Yeah.
think, definitely. I want to share what Hanisa is saying. Hebat lah, Abang Brian. Brian would sebab tu we call
Ni
you
semua you
Abang
bayar ke apa
Brian.
ni?
Yeah.
Ha? Tak.
Tak
This
ada.
was
Betul
kita
ni.
punya community, you see?
Yeah, Nina,
Not
I
brother
have to do this.
Brian. Yeah.
I have to do this one thing first.
Okay.
Hold on,
Yeah,
huh?
agreed.
Yang ni just now was a gem, so I have to do this one, okay?
The prophecy is true.
Yang itu pasal niat, okay? Dengar. It's
Niat,
about
okay,
niat,
niat.
alright? And even
Intention.
Farah is saying, what a meaningful advice. And Yuki Aizawa, who is a Japanese living in Malaysia, saying, amazing, Abang Brian.
Thank
Kind of
you.
thing. So yes, such profound advice. Okay, having said all that,
Yeah. How does
how
that
does it
relate to branding?
relate? Yes, branding with the heart.
All right.
Share
So
with us.
along the way of my career, of becoming who I am today as Abang Brian, even the name Abang Brian was given to me by the children. They call me Abang Brian, right? And that's why I even prefer that to chef, or like I'm doing my PhD now. I'll soon be doctor. I still am Abang Brian because that is who defines who I am. I'm your boy next door, Malaysian boy next door who likes to share, right? I'm the abang who you go to when you tak cukup duit untuk beli nasi lemak, or you terjatuh, or you have mak yang menengking kat you, or you don't know how to, you know, I'm that person, right? But
Okay,
along the way, I have been Chef Brian, I have been the guy wearing the hat, I have been the guy without the hat, I've been everything that I think that I've tried. But what I found works the most is listening to your heart, right? Why I say branding from the heart. And I think this also relates to the question early on. Someone asked in the group, right? How to differentiate the public and the personal. If anyone who works with me, who has the chance to work with me, not just on one occasion, even on one occasion, people will tell you the same thing, and I'm very confident of it. All my staff, some of them sometimes work from my home. They see how I am, how I live, what kind of person I am. It is the same, right? Not to say that I've given up my private life, but because I'm true to who I am, I will say that the public persona is a little bit exaggerated, but it is who I am, and therefore it is not difficult. The problem with certain, and that's why it's so easy to be consistent. We all know that branding and marketing, branding especially, the word consistency is very important, right? And it's something that as an auditor, I know what consistency is. Teaching children, I know what consistency is. So branding, consistency is also very important. It's the same, you know, the way the mind works is consistency, right? So it's not difficult for me because it is me. It is from my heart, right? And from at the very beginning, there are times where I was trying to define myself based on other people. I want to be, I'm a little bit flamboyant, right? You are like Chef One, or people will hear my voice or hear the way I talk, and they go like, you're like Pak Neil. Pak Neil is
yes. You're actually like Pak Neil. That's why he's so loved.
You're like Pak Neil, and I'm like, no, I'm not Pak Neil, you know. And of course, I say, you know, Pak Neil is like hotai, you know. We cannot compare me to hotai, right? But like, no, do not try to be anyone else but yourself. And it will be so much easier because I have tried. I have tried to be Jamie Oliver. I have tried to be Martha Stewart. And I realized, no, you know what? I need my samba. I need my tempoyak, you know. I can't be Jamie Oliver. I do believe in what he does. I do go to school canteens. I am now working with children and health. We are working on food sustainability. I'm working with an organization called Thought for Food, who our CEO and founder is a UN food system advisor. So like, I do believe, and I have somewhat the same belief as he does, and I think, present sometimes the way he does. But it's like Jamie Oliver meets Pat Neil meets Chef Wan meets. But why must you meet? Just be you, you know. And I think when you act from your heart, you will reach a point where you will question yourself, in the sense that sometimes I think most people ask, like, you know, from the heart, what do you mean? Isn't it difficult? It is difficult. It takes a lot of courage to show who you are, right? When you brand from your heart is on your sleeve.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, you've got to be that vulnerable. And that I used to be very, very particular about the way I dress, the way I look. I was so scared that people would fault me for not knowing certain things. And now I'm like, dude, seriously, I like to cook this way. I like to cook certain dishes. I never said that I can cook every single thing. And if people come to me, bukan you chef ke? Memanglah I chef. Tapi kalau I suruh you masak, my carrot cake, you tak pernah baking langsung, memang you tak erti. Tapi hari-hari you masak tempoyak, I tak boleh kalahkan you masak tempoyak. You know what I'm saying? And I think the audience started to give me the courage. So I'm very blessed. Because Abang Brian is very well received by the audience. And there are times where people will put me down, and it is my friends, I call them my friends, followers, friends, they will come to my stage, they will come and save me. They'll be like,
wow, that is the stage you want to get at, where your community.
I am very appreciative, and every time I'm tired to do a show or I don't want to go on. I mean, everyone has those days. Like, it's like, for me, as soon as I see a comment from someone, or when the director goes like action, I just live for them. And the reason why is, I give you one example. In terms of consistency, kan, sangat jarang if you buka my Instagram. So anyone who knows me, I would think that I'm more present in the Malay industry. If you are from the urban or the Chinese industry and you don't know me, that's normal. Consistency, right? So and yeah, so anyways, you will never find me without a shirt. Although I have had a lot of offers to do that, to speed track my career. I have a lot of offers to do certain things that I didn't want to do. And you very seldomly will find me in short pants that is higher than my knee, right? Okay. So there are times I still am a human being, right? So whatever pose I'm doing, or it's bukanlah macam hot pants, tapi naik lah sikit daripada lutut. So my audience sometimes dia akan cakap, there are some people who go like, Abang Brian, lutut tu aurat tau. And everyone else will datang balik, kau dah kenapa? I don't reply anymore. All these things I look at it and I just smile. And for me, it's no longer me fighting with people. It's me creating that avenue for us to come together as Malaysians. Because
that's beautiful.
Everybody was like, hey, why you? He's not like he. And that generates a conversation, which honestly, you have to be, thick skin is one. Two is you must be able to bring yourself out of your persona, but be courageous enough to recognize that, it's because you put your heart in your sleeve that you will get those personal attacks. Right?
Okay, got it. So speaking about putting your heart on your sleeve. Okay, go on.
Basically, Brian, you are a conversation starter.
Yeah.
If you take a look at it, right? You initiate, you put something out, and you will create conversations for people, and just allow it to happen, isn't it? That's what influencer does.
Yeah, I didn't know it.
And you allow this platform for people to communicate and discuss and bring to awareness differences, and it's okay. It's to allow differences, right? So that's what it is, guys. This is amazing. I hope you're getting this. Okay, I have a question.
I didn't see it before that. Because if you take a look at it, it's creating conversations.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And he is changing boundaries. He's creating awareness and to people, which otherwise would be very close-minded if you think about it. This is what we aim to do. I mean, that's what it's about. Content that
That's what it's
changes
about.
lives, that opens up our minds, because otherwise we'd be closed, right? Okay. Now, Abang Brian, since we're on the topic of kena kecam, being hated on, and wearing our hearts on the sleeve, what's your advice to people out there who want to create content, but then we're so scared that we'll be judged? What's your advice for that?
I also have a follow-up question after that. We go with this one first.
Silakan.
I would always ask you to ask yourself, what is your intention? What is your intention for your branding? Because if your intention is strong enough, right, and it is the right intention that you have, I'm not saying that everybody's intention have to be the same. Not everybody is going to be like, some people say like, oh no, but I'm like, I can't be like a goody two shoe like you. I'm not a goody two shoe, right? But I'm good to a certain sense. But if you want whatever it is, if your intention is strong enough and you are consistent with your intention, you will not be bothered about other people. If orang kecam you go back to yourself and you have to be strong on your feet and say, no, I'm sorry, but this is my intention. Kalau orang tu tetap tak faham, how you can bring the horse to the water, you cannot force the horse to drink water. Betul tak? I nak cuba you faham macam ni, tapi kalau you tak faham juga, and then at the end of the day, because it's your intention, it starts your intention. So actually, you are fighting yourself and no one else. When you are shy and when you are scared inside you. You're not scared of other people. You are scared of what you will feel, right? And how you will feel and how confident you are with yourself boils down and stems from your heart, which is your intention, right? So kalau you tahu what you are trying to do, right? It's fine, just do it, right? And of course, I'm saying this within caveat because I'm Abang Brian, within certain norms and certain regulations and laws of society, okay? But yeah, I mean, if it's like kids who come to me, right, and parents who tell me, oh my kids are playing too much video game. I challenge them. I say, you're not playing video game. You be the best video gamer in the world. And people today are being paid a lot of money to test video games. If you can go to that level, why not? Do it. But don't do it half-heartedly. And when people do it half-heartedly, it's because they are not strong in their intention. So
all right.
I see someone saying hello here. So I have to say this because it's here.
Yes.
So like being true to who you are is what I've done. So after I left Media Prima, I still continue on. Like when I sell something to people, and this is why branding is important and marketing is important, and not just selling, right? Why storytelling? I think you had a session with someone else about talking about storytelling. I saw it. Walaupun I senyap Nina, I'm a memerhati. Okay, jangan risau. She was like so worried. Abang Brian is not replying me. Blah 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 blah. Don't worry.
No, I would like to leave people alone.
Yeah, no. I'm like okay. I'm okay. I'll be on. Don't worry. So yeah, telling the story is very important because like what I learned throughout home shopping is that people don't buy, let's say for example, this remote control. If you tell me it has this function, that function, this function, that function, it can on and off the TV, it can like automatically mute. So, but if you connect with people and you tell the story of why muting immediately is very important, it's because your wife is in the kitchen and sometimes she's yelling at you and you cannot listen because you're on the TV so loud. And by the time you turn down the volume, she already finished and then you kena marah. You don't want that to happen anymore, right? You need to get this. Connect with people, tell that story, and telling the story is most relevant and most convincing when it's real and when it's from the heart. So when I sell any cookware or whatever it is, if it comes with a non-stick surface, so what? Non-stick, okay. So very easy to wash. Okay, so you're not going to spend so much time washing because cooking, you spend so much time cooking already, right? Then you're supposed to wash some more. That's so much of your time, the time that you can use to spend with your children, right? When you want to cook, you want to have that meal with your children, not worry about the dishes, right? So, but if you use a non-stick pan, you don't have to worry about all those. Don't you want that for your family? Don't you want that for yourself? You know what I'm saying? So these are things. These kind of stories are the things that connect with people, and that's why I continue wearing my sleeve on my heart. And after I left Media Prima, I just continued doing that. I started selling cookware for free for people, and people were like, "Are you kidding me?" Because like I'm already like at that level where people will pay me to do just one show, right? So I was like, no, I'm just bored doing MCO. So I started selling this cookware, and then this person.
You mean with Khalid, who you needed
Yeah.
to say hi?
So
Let's just put him out here.
my cooking story. So basically, we started. I started selling, and he was like, "Okay, do you want to do this with us?" And I was like, and he was like, "I'll offer you this." And I said, "No." And he was like, "You're the first person to say no to me." I said, "No, no, 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 no. Let me just do it for fun." Right. And then after a while, we just realized that, hey, okay, it's working. And then we started a company which is called Easy Mall. It's an online live selling commerce, live commerce.
So Easy Mall is with Khalid. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so we started that together,
Mhm.
and then we are now in the midst of a merger with Ecosys, which is going to be public listed. We target by next year, I hope. So yeah, that's the story, and yeah, that's why in wearing your heart on your sleeve and branding from the heart is very important because people can see that, and it will remain consistent forever and ever and ever.
I think you know with us, I think our company was built from the heart as well. We just let the heart just kind of follow where it went. You know what I mean? And I think that's something amazing that the universe kind of rewards because the intention is there, and then the money will just handle, right? The opportunities come, and you see whether, okay, you know what, this makes me happy. I want to pursue this more, right? It's one thing after another. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, you had a follow-up question.
Yes,
We
I
are
do. I
at
do. By the way,
9:21.
punya remote
Yeah.
control sama main.
Sama TV lah. Sama lah.
TV yang kita.
Sebab you tengok Abang Brian jual tu sebab you beli
Sama lah. Okay. Right. By the way, okay. I'm going to represent the people that has no heart. Bukan tak ada heart.
Can I just say something? Because he used to not have a heart.
Hey, so I have to represent them, right? So I'm like,
The B
okay.
word.
So I'm the I mean for you, I would say this, right? People like Chef One, you, even Nina, I would say this, right? It comes in so naturally because it's like it's natural for you. But for those who are focusing a lot on the how to, I think you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
The I have to do it like this. So at the end of the day, my content become very constipated because there's a structure on how to do it. What would be your advice for them? Because it's difficult for them to go to the heart and say, you know what, follow my heart. So what would be your advice for them?
I would tell you that again, like the kids who like to play the video game, do it and do the out of it. If you want to be structured, be as structured and consistent as you want to be. When I say follow the heart, right, and follow the intention, right, like I said, everyone's heart and everybody's intention and the manifestation of it is different, right? So if you talk about social media influencers, there are people who are all over the place. There is no structure at all. They deal with every single thing that some influencers will say you should never touch it, but they're super popular, and they get paid by companies to basically talk bad about their company because it raises their publicity. Really? I'm not kidding you. I know a lot of people like this, right? And these people actually, they are very intelligent people. I don't want to name who, but like,
we can hire them to talk about popcorn. PM tepi, okay, later. Okay, go on.
Yeah. So, sorry. So that person is actually a very intelligent person, and he is just very well known for screaming wolf all the time, and he just does it all the time. But when you meet him in person, he's actually a very sane, nice person.
It's a persona, right?
It's a persona, right?
Yeah.
So for him, like my way of doing it is to be consistent and being sincere. Okay. His way of it is separating it all together. But whatever it is that people want to do, I say just be consistent, and he's damn consistent. Meaning to say, as soon as ada camera, just pop, it becomes like the first time I experienced it, I was like, oh my god, what happened? Like 360.
I know those people. You know, like podcasts. Suddenly they have a sexy voice, and then you're like, what did that come from?
Yes,
you
know, like Beyonce lah ni.
Yeah, that's why I trailer.
Be consistent. So, I mean, kalau you not be structured, you be very structured. There are a lot of influencers yang dia punya page are super structured. In fact, there are a lot of PR companies whatever who approach me and say, Abang Brian, your page is such a mess. Can you please be more like these people who are structured? So I wouldn't say that it doesn't work, right?
So your
But
advice is for Amin to continue being constipated because it is who he is.
no, I need to
It's-
figure it out. I need to see how constipated he is and what's the constipation like.
Okay.
Ah.
You know how people say that there can be some what is it? What there is some technique in the madness. There is some you know what I'm trying to get at, right?
Yeah. There's some truth to it, right?
There's some truth to it, one. So as long as
honestly, I think him being constipated is fine because it's okay. He just overthinks it and harps on it.
yeah, it's like
Tiba-tiba pun aku kena slap pagi ni.
no lah. I think also
Aku
right,
mau TV.
for people who
Sorry, guys.
no, because I have seen it done. I've seen people do it very mechanically as well. People who
Right.
just do brands for the sake of branding, because we are talking about personal branding at the moment now, right? What I do is a branch out of my personal branding. But if let's say you want to do even an apple pun I boleh jual to you with a personal story.
Okay,
Everything has
do
personal story.
it. Sell the apple to me. Come on, Abang Brian, do it so people can see how to sell online.
How to sell
Jeez.
online.
Yeah, but
So like, okay, so when people want to buy an apple, right? You need to ask yourself, why would people buy an apple? Why would you want to buy an apple? What is it about an apple that you like? Right? Is it because it is there's so many sides to online live selling, all right? So for example, the visual side, for example, right? What I'm doing now is like, for example, if I hold it like that and my button is so big, right? And go like, oh, look at this apple, it's big. No, it's not. But look, it's big. You know, these are the visuals of it. I mean, like I can have a whole thing, which I did for Lazada for all their sellers. There's a whole thing to live shopping, but like for me, it's just asking yourself why, right? Why would you want to buy this apple? Oh, because it is. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, so it's very healthy. Okay, so why is eating an apple and being healthy very important to you? So that I don't fall sick. Why is it important that you don't fall sick? Because I've got children to take care of. So why is it important for you to take care of your children? So that they grow up to be good people. So if you want your children to grow up to good people, I think you should buy this apple.
wow, so you actually link it back all the way to the
Ask
bottom.
yourself why, and touch the hearts of people. And if you yourself are touched, it's the same with like all my staff. If my staff are watching now, when you yourself are not convinced, right? When you sometimes some people they present you with certain things, right? And then I go like, are you even convinced about your own job? Whatever you have done, are you convinced? Not really, lah, boss. Then why are you giving it to me? It's like if you yourself are not convinced, no one else will be convinced. You have to convince yourself.
Right. Okay. So in everything that we do, we first need to enroll ourselves, right?
The biggest person you're telling the story to is yourself.
Okay. I think that's such a good coaching. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have one more question, not coaching.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest challenge that people face when it comes to branding from the heart? What is it that they get wrong?
The challenge, like I said earlier on, is that the biggest challenge is to have courage. To really have courage to actually stick to what you have set out to be. Because like anything in the world, when your intention is there, it does not mean that you'll not be swayed. It will always be swayed, right? And I think like there are a lot of people who are so rigid. I don't know whether it applies to you, Amin, or not. But sometimes, right, you have to relax, because I also am like that. Come on, I'm accountant, auditor, and I'm a good baker. So I'm very, that I'm very tak, right? So what I've realized about this intention thing, which is very important, is the why behind your intention. Meaning to say that, let's say, for example, okay, so I'll give you an example, right? Growing up, what were your ambitions? Ask yourself, what were your ambitions, right? What did you want to be? So I'll use my example, okay? Because we're running out of time. With Abang Brian, it's always like it's not about him not talking, it's like you have to stop him talking. So anyways,
we love it. Don't stop.
I was young, right? I wanted to be an architect. I wanted to be a lawyer. and I wanted to be what else did I want to be? A businessman, right? Because I wanted to make a lot of money. So, and then you reach a certain point in your life and you go like, oh my God, I've never achieved anything I wanted to do ever since I was young, right? But the most important thing is to ask yourself, especially when you're young, when you have those callings, those are the most pure callings that you have. Ask yourself why you wanted to do that. So I wanted to be an architect because I wanted to build things that could help people, right? I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to convince people. I wanted to build businesses because I wanted to make a lot of money, right? Take those whys and compare it to what you're doing now. I have been building minds as an educator. I have built businesses like I would have built a building, right? I have convinced people of my own personal branding. I have always convinced people to continue buying stuff from me. I'm doing that, right? And I'm okay lah. I earn money lah. So like, you know, the whys are more important than the whole manifestation of it. So like when you set out, like I think a lot of successful people and successful brands will also tell you that they started off with a picture in mind, but that picture along the way has evolved. And sometimes people are so rigid with the way it's manifested that they get stuck halfway and give up, right? But if you know why you wanted to do something or why you started that brand, right, and how it manifests, so as long as it still achieves that same why, right, you will be, I think, more open to it adjusting itself for bigger success. You know, if you look at all the brands in the world, it has never started out as the one. No logo in the world started as the same thing they were 10 years ago. There would definitely be a certain adjustment, but the vision and the mission statement will always remain the same, and what they represent will always remain the same, right? So I think that's more important, the whys, and yeah, to have courage to stick to it, because first of all, have courage to convince yourself, have courage to convince other people, have courage to stick to it, because there will be times where it will be challenged. The consistency, I will use my example, like people told me, and I know it's true, if I were to take off my shirt, I would be much popular much faster. One. Another one is I've been thrown a lot of money to endorse certain products which I know I do not stand for. So if you go along those lines, I would say that good for you, you'll be very rich, but do you not realize that a lot of rich people are still looking for that one thing?
And what is that one thing?
Fulfillment. Right? And the fulfillment comes from you being true to who you are. And if you said something to yourself, because like I said, all the biggest story, that the biggest person we are telling the stories to is ourselves. Right? So you tak payahlah nak pergi convince and tipu semua orang. You tipu, but at the end of the day, you will never be happy because you're not truthful to yourself.
Okay.
Right? And
I love that.
So when I say branding from the heart, from as a person, if you're talking about personal branding, just be yourself. Then it's not, you'll not be complicated, whatever. A little bit of extension, a little bit of exaggeration is fine. Just make sure the core is the same. If you want to build a brand ground zero without a person in mind, if you want to start a Apple brand, right? Not the Apple, but like you want to sell apples, right? You want to start a brand. Think of something that will relate to you, that is kind of consistent to who you are, so that way you can tell that story. And I've seen that done also. So for example, a family that sells tafufa, for example, right? I know for a fact that it was not his family, but it was someone else's family, but it was a neighbor, and he was always with them. And you know, it's human, and it's something that it's close to his heart as well. Although it's not his own heart, but it's close to his heart, right?
Yeah.
So being consistent, it's always very, very easy. So I think those are the biggest tips I have for the audiences tonight. And thank you very much. There is method to the madness. Yes.
Yes, that's Lorchi. There is method to the madness. And Farah, who's been tuning in from the start, is saying it's deep. That's deep what you just shared. Okay, I mean, any questions before I ask the last one?
Hold on.
Hear that, I mean?
Hold on. So we've been talking about hearts and all that. What's your why, Brian? Why do you do what you do?
What is the why? What is my why?
Yeah.
My why is very simple. If at the end of my life I'm half the man my father was, I'll be very happy. That is my why.
And
So
your father was?
my father was a man who was kind. He always put other people before him. He always muliakan his parents first, and he always found the good in everything that he saw, right, in people. So by me having the platform to share good food with good people, by me being a platform and a medium for people to have conversations that can improve their lives, it's something that I feel is my calling and is my why. If I always say, as a teacher, right, a lot of people say that, I'm only a teacher, I only have one classroom, I only have 20 students. But hey, it's better than no one. Start with those 20, and those 20 will multiply, right? So I think that's my strongest why is, I would say, always my father. I grew up in front of a father, with a father who represents what it is to be a good Malaysian, I guess.
Beautiful. So last question. Moving forward, what's next for you? What are your plans?
Um, what are my plans?
Mhm.
Uh, so I'm retired. um,
Can
uh,
lepak already, yo.
no, so I always tell people that I am semi-retired ever since I decided to pursue my passion. I've never been working because every day of my work is like a joy, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and of course, I always count my blessings, and I'm very grateful to have had the pains and now am reaping the fruits. But yeah, so my direction moving forward is I'm very much focused on, obviously, with the public listing that's going to happen for Ecosys next year. That's a big, huge thing for us as a company. But
Mhm.
personally, I am now completing my PhD in food studies, which is focusing on youth and healthy eating habits. I've just been named one of the judges for World's Best Schools. So check out World Best Schools as well. They are there to actually motivate schools who champion through adversity, who put the environment first, who strive for innovation, who build healthy lives all around the world.
Mhm.
And also, my biggest direction is, of course, food sustainability. I just want to make sure by 2050, everyone has food to eat. I'm sure you know that if we don't do anything different from the way we are doing it now, we will run out of food by 2050. We used to say like, oh la, for the future generation. No, no, no. In this generation, we will run out of food, right? So
Mhm.
that's my biggest obsession at the moment.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, hopefully I will someday get to the UN to be able to make some difference for the children of the world. But if not, I'll just do it from my kitchen.
Wow, those are amazing goals. Love it, love it, love it. I mean, anything else on your
Yeah,
side?
guys, you guys got to follow Abang Brian on his Instagram, right? I think that's the least that we can do right now. Talk about his
Of
Instagram
course.
account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So
right, guys. While waiting for Amin to put up Abang Brian's Instagram link, Farah is saying, I love how family centered Abang Brian is. Proves how healthy family relationship contributes to your growth. Definitely. Guys, please follow Abang Brian as well. That's Abang Brian, right? I mean, the hashtag?
yep, Abang
I
Brian,
mean,
yes,
the
correct,
handle?
correct, correct.
Okay. Please follow Abang Brian on his Instagram. And also, what is it that you guys got from tonight's session? What was the biggest thing that you guys learned? Let us know in the comment section. I mean, what was it for you?
Well, you know what? It's all about intention. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
For me, the
Yeah.
biggest learning for me was it's all about intention, and it's about another thing was, we're trying so hard to do so many things, but we forget that the one person that we need to first enroll to buy whatever it is that we're selling, whatever it is that we're doing, is ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it
You know,
enough of
you know
trying
what I
to
really
get
like about Abang
somebody.
Brian is
Yeah.
that it's not about him as much as the attention is on him,
Mhm.
but there's something bigger,
Yeah.
and I think
The
that's something
vision
that
is big.
all of
Yeah.
us, yeah, the vision is big. You guys got to go back to. I mean, logo can change, just like what he said. Things can change, visuals can change, but at the end of the day, your why matters. Simple as that.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
I
you
love
know
that.
what, Abang Brian, I think you may definitely get to the United Nations one day. I would not be surprised because your vision is
Yep.
so huge. And something happens when the intention and the vision is so huge, the universe just conspires to deliver it to you. So I look forward to hearing that you're going to be at the United Nations. Yep, purpose
Yep.
is what Yuki has said. And Yuki,
Yeah.
you have your purpose too. Let's not forget that. Yeah. So well
Yep.
done. Abang Brian,
And
thank you so much. Today has been so inspiring for me to hear. You know, we all have gone through that lowest of the lowest of the lowest point. You also was at the curve with all these, not even 2 ringgit, you know. And then when you did have 2 ringgit, you couldn't go into the machine because they were coins. I know because I was there. We all have had our share, right? I mean, as
yeah.
business
We've been through
owners.
that before once in our life.
Yeah, so to hear this a different version of it, how bottom can you go, how bottom of the food chain can you go? What
Yep.
was your lowest point?
So we got to give this Abang Brian, okay?
Yeah, we have to do this. Okay, hang on.
There you go.
I mean, one of the videos, please.
Alah, okay lah. So I'm gonna do
Choose.
this, right? We got to do it. Okay, hold on. Mana dia pergi? Alamak, hilang. Wait.
Thank you so much, Abang Brian. It's been so wonderful because it's so inspiring to hear from you and your experiences. I'm sure our people, our audience tonight are going to take home so many amazing things. So yes, thank you so much.
So
for
just
bringing
before I
such a
go, thank you so much for having me. If I do become very popular and I become a UN ambassador of some sort,
Of course.
you are the first LinkedIn interview I've ever done. So you will be the
All
first.
right.
I don't do these kind of things very often because I don't really like talking. Like I don't know, like what do you want? Like what do you want to know? Like you know. So, anyways, this is my very first interview on LinkedIn. So if I somehow win an award for something, you will be the first person who have interviewed me on LinkedIn. And so thank you very much for having me here. And for those who are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. And as we cross to the new year, I will close with the same thing I opened with and I've been harping on. It take time to reflect on your intention for the next year. And I hope that next year will be a much better year than any of the years before. So, yeah. Happy
Thank
New
you
Year.
so much. Yeah. Woohoo! All right. Thank you so much, Abang Brian. Okay, we're just going to close it off. If you want to stay so we can have a chat, let us know. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We can still have Abang Brian here while we say goodbye. Just a couple of reminders. Next week, the next show that we have is going to be at Friday morning at 8 o'clock. Or if you're in the US, it's happening on a Thursday at 5 p.m. where we're going to be speaking to Greta Rose and why your brand story is critical to your success. Thank you so much, Abang Brian. We had such an amazing time with you. If you know of someone, if you're tuning in and you found so much benefit from tonight's episode and you know someone out there is going to really appreciate the insights from today's show, please tag them, give us a like, and follow Abang Brian on Instagram. And of course, follow us as well. Give us some love. That's Popcorn Fest on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, and on LinkedIn. We'll be coming out with more videos and more speakers. Let us know who you want us to interview, who you want to be inspired by. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Nina. I'm signing
And I'm
off.
Amin signing off.
And I'm
Abang
Abang Brian.
Woohoo! Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year. See you again.
Yeah.
Bye.